And you know, pain is real, trauma is real, grief is real. Sometimes some of that hurt, it stems back from the past, and it just lingers on and it lingers on. And you got to find some way to get that off you. You got to pray it up, and sometimes you got to go out there and talk to somebody. God really put these resources around us, these people in the world out here to help us out. And if you've been seeing that number 831, and a lot of you going to be seeing it because it's just telling you it's time to vent. It's time to go to counseling. And you're going to see that 831 everywhere. You're going to see it on license plates. You know, you're going to see it everywhere you go, on the TV. Every time you look at the clock, it's 8:31 now, 8:31 p.m., a.m. too. It's just going to be bouncing on you everywhere, you know, because it's time for you to go ahead and vent. You know, you've been holding on that trauma from that divorce for a long time. You lost a spouse, you know, you lost a loved one of your child. And some of that hurt, it takes a long time to get rid of. And I'm going to be real with you. Sometimes this stuff, it don't go away. But the thing is, we got groups out here that you can go talk to. It's all types of groups where it's just groups of people who've been through that same abuse that you've been through. You know, they had that same childhood that you came from, that same neglect that you've been through, divorces, you know, things going on with childhood, you know, deaths in the family. Sometimes that stuff just linger on, y'all, and you got to find a way out. And there is a way out. Counseling is a form that I didn't use at first. I'm like, I'm not about to go talk to these strangers. I don't know him. She can't relate to me. But truth of the matter is, we all going through the same things out here. That's why they got groups out here where 50 people meet. Sometimes 100 of them meet. And they all talk about the same problem. They all talk about their special needs child that they have to raise and how much trouble that is on them. They're a single parent and it's hard. It's hard doing stuff like that. They all talk about their divorce and how they was in that abusive relationship for 15, 20 years and they had to find a way out. That's a form of counseling. It's a way of releasing it, and it helps you. Sometimes this pain does go away, and you forget about that. You know, sometimes you're able to just walk away, and you can live your life now. But you have to go vent. And if you've been seeing that number 831, it's telling you it's time to go ahead and vent. It's time for you to go ahead and open up and go to counseling. Go ahead and find a therapist out here. And sometimes it's somebody who looks like you that can relate to you. Sometimes it's not a man from over there in your neighborhood. Sometimes it's not your family member who you need to go be telling this business to. Because, you know, sometimes this vents that you telling over here, it just go over to the next vent. And they just gossiping about you and talking about you. You heard about that. So when you start seeing that number 831, go ahead and seek therapy. God put some people out here who got patience, you know, who really can see this, who actually have been through this, who actually know how to give you some things to cope with this, who can give you some examples and who can just talk to you and get you through this. Therapy is great, you know what I mean? You're talking to somebody and they go help you get rid of those problems. They go help you cope with it and deal with it at the best that you can, though, at least. But sometimes when you just let it sit there and you just let it sit there, it just gets worse. Sometimes people kill themselves. Sometimes people, you know, never get the same. They don't even try to get better. Sometimes the symptoms don't go away, but we can treat them, though. You know, it can get better, though. You know, it's hard to lose a loved one, and, you know, and you can't forget about that. It's going to come up to you every time. It's going to come up to you every once in a while. But it is a way that you can talk to someone about it. It's a lot of groups, y'all. It's a lot of therapists out here. God put it in them to be patient with us, to talk to us about this. Go ahead and try it out because you've been seeing that number 831 for a reason. It's time to go ahead and vent. It's time to go to therapy. You lived a traumatic life. You got some anxiety on you, some stress on you. Release it. And once you release it, you will feel a lot better out here. 831 counseling. It's time to go vent. The only flip side I got on that number is 831. If you've been seeing that number frequently, it's telling you, and that's your birthday, focus on yourself. If 831 is your birthday, focus on you. Focus on the reason why you were born, your purpose out here in life. That's why you've been seeing that number, 831, your birthday. Other people, it's time to go vent. Go find a therapist. Go find a counselor and get some help. That's all I got. Motivation comes in many forms. Lamborghini Lamar.